Everyone has different qualities that makes us unique. We're male, we're female, we're old, we're young. We're all different in various ways. But how many times a day do you see yourself judging people for the way they talk, the way they look, or what they stand for? What have you been prejudiced for?
My name is Connor Cotner. What do you think defines prejudice? Do you think it's race? Maybe your personality? Keep your thoughts in mind as we watch this documentary and see just how much of an impact prejudice has on people.
Believe it or not, both kids and adults get judged for a variety of reasons. Upon meeting someone new, people will take a split second to judge who you are. A young child, Brooke Myers, has a rare skin disease that separates her from other kids her age. She struggled with it for about a year, but her mother says she's getting better as each day goes by.
In the beginning, it was a struggle, just because it is, when you live with psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis, you can have good days, you can have bad days. What that means day to day for her, when she is stressed or possibly allergic to something, she can develop large red raised patches on her joints. Sometimes, depending on the day, it can be kind of rough, but over the last year, she's done really well. We've started her on a regimen with her specialist. So she's gotten into a very good habit of applying those lotions and keeping, her skin nice and soft. And it's been good. And so, yeah, at first it was tough, but no, she's doing really well. She's doing a lot better. So
Brooke is a young child that unfortunately struggles with prejudice. She tells the story in a way only an 11-year-old can tell it.
Well, last year, since I had it literally all over and I was literally just a pink blob, like, when I went to the carnival, I had like this little black chick look at me like, and I'm like, okay. And then she walked off, so it was great. I don't know. A little bit of savage.
While it may seem like psoriasis isn't a big deal for her, she suffers from it on a daily basis.
When we visited with a rheumatologist, they said that her joints were a little warm here and there. So, when the weather changes, or again, she has an allergy to a food, or anxiety can even trigger it, her body can hurt, basically ache, like you have a cold, like a really bad cold.
Some teens from different cultures are also treated differently than others. A student shares her experience coming from Mexico to America and the prejudice she has gone through.
I've been working with adults my entire life since I was in Mexico, because I moved here 2 years ago, and they prejudice a lot about age. I don't think it's because race. I experienced that in school a lot. I start getting applications for the radio, for photography companies, and they said no because my age, even though I showed them my work and I knew my work was very good, and they didn't give me not even one opportunity to pursue my passion. And I don't think it's an explanation, but it's just a sentence that I say to myself every single day. The fact that you are older than me doesn't mean that you are more than me. So you have to give the opportunity to a person that is really passionate about everything that they do. And you have to give them the opportunity to do that.
However, another teen says prejudice is based on race.
In the United States, it's very difficult for anyone of color or, anyone that doesn't look a certain way. I feel we should all love each other at the end of the day, but it's not an easy thing to do.
Hey, brother.
In society nowadays, they just go off of what they see on social media, and they go off on what they see on movies, and to discriminate people. Think that that's how a certain group of people are, but it's not that way. You have to meet a person to know what they are like and what they offer, no matter what the color or what race.
Counselors at schools have had a number of students report that they get bullied because of the way they look. The counselor at Tulsa Tech talks about a time she experienced a student get bullied because of his gender.
One that comes to mind is a student I had a couple of years ago who is transgender. And he came to me, he said at first people were teasing him and making comments, but it was more like teasing, but it escalated to the point that he felt bullied. So he and I talked about where prejudices come from. Does it come from the media? Does it come from TV, families, friends? Where does that come from, and how you sort through that?
Prejudice comes in many different songs and verses, whether it be color, disease, or personality. Let's put an end to prejudice and begin every conversation with hello. It all starts with you.